So, what is bothering you in your life? Got any little challenges going on? Got any little debates in your mind? What should I do about this? Should I do it this way? Or should I do it this way? Should I respond with love? Or should I respond with fear, anxiousness? What's going on for you? Are you perhaps stuck in some frame of mind that might not be working for you? And if that is the case, are you willing to change your frame of mind? Are you troubled by what's happening in Ukraine? Are there situations in your family, in your relationship, that are challenging you? Maybe you're not spending enough time and energy doing the things that you love. Are you conflicted? Should I be playing? Should I be working? Anybody got any dilemmas like that? I do. In this talk, Whole Brain Living to the Rescue, we're going to identify some areas in our brains that might be causing challenges for us. And really, this talk is titled Whole Brain Learning, or Living, because it is really about understanding 4 aspects of our brain that all think very differently. And the idea is for us to be able to then sort them out, identify them, and use them as a team to discern what is the best thing that we want to do, you want to do, I want to do right now. So that we can be beneficial, so that we can be grounded in truth, so that we can be the essence of who we are. Don't you want that? Don't you want to live from your highest potential in everything you do? So my hope is that after today, you'll be able to identify these 4 aspects of your brain when they come up and are dominant in your life. And you'll be able to choose, maybe this isn't the exact way that I want to handle this situation. At 37, Jill Bolte Taylor had a left hemisphere stroke, which caused the left hemisphere in her brain to totally shut down and go offline. She says, over the course of 4 hours, I was watching my brain functions shut down one by one. On the afternoon of that day, I could not walk, I couldn't talk, I couldn't read, I couldn't walk, I couldn't write, and I couldn't recall any of my life. In effect, I had become an infant in a woman's body. She goes on, when I woke later that afternoon, I was shocked to discover that I was still alive. I could no longer experience the physical boundaries of my body, and where my body began and where it stopped. I couldn't perceive my individual person. I couldn't perceive my personality, or I couldn't experience past regrets, or I didn't feel guilty about anything. I didn't feel lonely about anything. I could not experience present fears and expectations. Her right brain, the creative brain, became the dominant part of her experience for her. She says, I'm still alive, and I've found nirvana. I've pictured a world filled with beautiful, loving, peaceful, compassionate people who knew that they could purposely choose to step out with their right hemispheres and find peace in the world. I realized what a stroke of insight could be for me. What a stroke of insight this could be for the entire world. And from that experience, she wrote the book, My Stroke of Insight, a brain scientist's personal journey. She says that the most valuable insight that she gained from this journey was the realization that we have the power to turn on the different parts of our brain by choice. And we can have control of our circuitry in our brains. She says, we have the power to choose moment by moment who and how we want to be in the world. Wow. We have the power to step into that peaceful consciousness, or we have the power to step into the focus, the left brain hemisphere, to be focused and on task and to get things done. She says her experience of losing her left hemisphere taught her that the different hemispheres of the brain are home to four very special characters who are very different. And each exhibits different dreams, different ideas, different aspirations, and different desires. So I'm going to talk about these four characters today that you have in your brain. They're all a part of all of us. They are a team which we work with every moment of our lives. And I'm hoping that in the process you'll be able to identify each of these four characters in yourself and start to realize how they can help you moving through your life. And what I've noticed in the week that I've been studying this book is I find, right now I'm in my left brain character. I'm in my organized character because I'm speaking, I'm pulling together organized thoughts. And so what I've discovered is that, wow, I'm in that character right now. Oh, when I'm playing ukulele or doing something creative, I'm in a different character. I'm in a playful character. And so the idea will be, we don't want to eliminate any of these characters. What we want to do is recognize when we are connected to them, and then we get to choose. Is this where I want to be right now? Is this the best character for me in this situation? And I'm hoping that, and you might sort of put it in the back of one of the parts of your brain, that you're going to come up with a name for each of these characters. And I know I'm going to give you a whole lot of information today, and I'm going to offer you a walk you talk when this is all over with, so you can take it home with you and you can practice it and pay attention to what's happening in your life. I believe that knowing these characters, the aspects of who you are, will help you to be more connected to the truth of who you are and help you to navigate this complex life that we get to live. So, are you ready? Are you excited? Okay, well, let's go on to character number one. Character number one is the left-thinking character, left brain thinking character. And this character, if it had a motto, would say, let's get stuff done, right? Can anybody relate to that? This character thinks linearly. It's verbal. It focuses on the details. It's judgmental. It's punctual, and it's busy. It's designed to create order out of randomness. And some of us have a really dominant left-thinking brain, don't we? And this is predominantly the part that shows up for us, because this is the part that is sort of that willful part that operates our life. And so it's designed to do that. It's designed to keep us on task, keep us order, and it's often the face that we show to the world. The left-thinking brain is capable of distinguishing two items separate from one another. It can then organize and categorize those things based on their details. It can distinguish between a donkey and a boat because they're two different things. Our left brain identifies individual things by shifting its perception in such a way that it can compare, critically analyze, and distinguish minute differences in the structure and the texture of things. The character one is our power in the world. It's the face that we show. It's in Jung's term, it's kind of the persona, right? It's the kind of a mask designed to make a definite impression on others. And our alpha character one will often compete when it's challenged. It will often fight for what it believes, right? I am right. I know this. I can think about this. I've organized all this. I've thought it all out. I have it right here. It's easy to define, right? Anybody got that part of me? So, it defines right and wrong, good or bad. It's just got it nailed down. Character one wakes up in the morning and it says, I'm going to get some stuff done today, right? Ever wake up and that character's like, ooh, baby, we got it all together today. Here's what we're going to do. We got my plan, got my to-do list. And I love that character. I love having a to-do list. It's really the best way that I get stuff done. So character one organizes everything, categorizes. It's naturally mechanical. It's very neat. It plans well. It respects authority. Yes, sir. It critically judges right and wrong, counts everything, and is very productive. Now, of course, we have these four characters are generalizations, and we all have different amounts of them. I'm not a person who counts everything, but I certainly make a list. So, what does your character one feel like in your body? If you can just kind of relate to that, how does that feel? Maybe for a lot of us, it feels pretty darn good, because that's where you might spend a lot of your time. It feels natural, right? And then, what if you don't recognize this character in yourself? Or what if you just see just a little bit of it? Some people are, I got this much of this left-brain thinking character, just this much. So whereas some people have this much. And then, how much do you let this character run your life? A whole lot? A little bit? Not so much? And this character is kind of like I said, it's a get it done, it's let do this, and then let's have some fun with it. Can you think of any fictional characters from literature or from theater who emulate this character? I thought of Spock from Star Trek, right? Very linear, we're going to do this, got the list going, knows exactly how to do everything. And then I thought of James Bond from the Bond movies, very much organized, has a plan. And then Wonder Woman is another character that came to my mind. Dr. Taylor says that her character is called Helen because she says it's hell on wheels, right? My character is Sherlock. Right? Because I love to investigate things. I love to study things. I like to try and solve things and mysteries, right? I mean, it's like this talk was like perfect. I get to discover these four characters. It's beautiful. Emily's character is called Candace. Can do this. So what's the name of your character? Throw something out. Let's have some fun with it. Throw one out. What comes to your mind? Doesn't have to be exactly it. Patricia. Ms. Together. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Got it all together. Take a chance. Come on now. Take a chance. Goddess? Gotta. Oh. Gotta. Like, gotta do this, right? Anybody else? Willa. like will do this, right? Willpower. And mind you, none of these are bad characters. They're all good because they're all part of us. And there's no idea in this idea to shame any of the characters. They're just part of who we are. Okay, let's go on to character number 2. Character number 2 is left brain emotional character. And this character's motto could be, I will keep you safe. At all costs, I'm going to keep you safe. The basic job of character 2 is to keep us safe. And this can be emotionally safe, physically safe, and this character lets us know when we face our fears. Because this character gets very emotional, can get very afraid. It can like stop us in our tracks. It can whine. It can cheat. It can scheme. It can be self-loathing. It gets jealous. It gets angry. It feels guilty. It feels shame. And I hope you're not feeling shame because of your number 1 character right now. It acts out in a million antisocial ways to get our attention. That's what it wants to do. It's like, okay, you should be afraid now. You don't want to do this right now. I'm going to make you feel some way so that I get your attention. Because it wants to filter out any immediate danger so that we don't find ourselves in trouble. And it gives us the opportunity to feel overwhelmed, to feel lonely, to feel grief, to love more deeply than we can ever imagine. Dr. Taylor says, when we hurt or hate or feel completely possessed by jealousy or rage, these emotional experiences are both powerful and delicious. Can you relate to that? You know, it's like even that pain that we feel, that anger or that frustration, and or that anxious. This character can often feel very anxious. All those weird feelings can actually feel kind of delicious in some way, right? I think because they help us to know, help us to be present in the moment, pull us into right now, and make this moment sensual and exotic and scary as hell. Our character 2 gets angry, it deceives, it tells lies, it feels guilty, it internalizes shame, it loves conditionally, displays negative self-judgment, it gets anxious, it whines, why me? It's egocentric, and sometimes it blames others. Anybody recognize any character 2 in yourself? What does character 2 feel like in your body? Yeah, kind of crampy, kind of heavy, kind of weighs us down sometime, right? And it's because it's about getting our attention. Makes us feel tense. You know, character 2 represents the Jungian idea of the shadow. We looked at the shadow a couple weeks ago and scared the heck out of some people. But, you know, because character 2 scares us. It shows us that shadow side of ourselves, our worst fears. As people squirm in the audience, are you squirming at home on your couch? So here's some characters from character 2 fictional characters that I've discovered. And one of them is Luke Skywalker. Yeah? Or Pinocchio. Or Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. My character is Orphan Andy. Right? Because, you know, I lost my parents early in my life, and I often feel alienated, or I often feel alone. I often feel unworthy. And those feelings all come from the shadow side, or from, you know, things that I captured in the past and hold on to. So now when I see those things coming, or those feelings, it's like, oh, Orphan Andy's in the room. You know? And once I identify that character is here, it helps me to kind of go, oh, it's okay. It's all right. You know, Orphan Andy is a part of who I am and comes up for me sometimes when I'm in difficult situations. Let's see. Any characters for you that show up? Anybody want to be brave enough? Who? The Guardian. Oh, yeah. Somebody else. Got one? Be brave. Identify that character. Call it out because it's gonna help you to befriend it if you recognize it and you say it. You know, it's not like gonna make it more powerful. It's gonna have you to have more power with it. Anxious Annie. Woo, yeah. Well, that kind of goes for you and me, doesn't it? Anxious Annie and Anxious Andy. Well, we're a good couple, aren't we? Anybody else? Be brave. Say it again. Charlie Brown. Oh, another good character. All right. We'll move on to the next one, right? Okay. So let's see. Let's go on to character number 3, right brain emotional character 3. Its motto is, let's play. Ah, yeah. This is one of my favorite characters. True for anybody else? Oh, man, this character perceives everything as being connected and in the flow of everything that is. This character wants to play all the time. Character 3s are compulsive and like to do things their own way. And they like to connect with others. Yeah? I got a big character 3. And character 3s are forgiving, they're awe-inspiring, they're empathetic, they're creative, they're joyful, they're curious, they're hopeful, and they're experimental. So, anybody have any character 3 part of them that you'll admit to? Coco. Coco's a character 3.
We call her
Coco Cahilahan. I think she's turning a little red under that mask. Oh, what does character 3 feel like in your body? Kind of fun, yeah. Can you sense that? Those of us who spend a lot of time playing, feels kind of cool, doesn't it? If you don't like to play so much, it might not feel so good. So, so how much character 3 do you let be in your life? A lot. How many people let a lot of character 3 in their life? I know I want to let more character 3 in my life. Yeah. I'd like to have more of that. So some famous character 3s are Ferris Bueller, right? Wouldn't you like to spend a day with that guy? Huh? How many? A couple of you. All right, they're brave enough. Or there's Tigger. One of my favorites is Bugs Bunny. Yeah, man, that guy liked to play. And how about Captain Jack Sparrow? Oh. Wouldn't you like to be on a pirate ship with that guy? Woo! And then there's the Joker. My character number 3 is Peter Pan, because I like his adventurous attitude. He engages in friendly campaigns with the Indians, right? Nobody gets hurt. He just wants to play with them. He's perpetually young. He's a perpetual young boy. I'm a perpetual young 15-year-old, I think. And he's very dedicated to his friends. So, anybody have a character 3 besides Coco? You can all use Coco, by the way, if you'd like to. Any character 3s you're willing to share with us? Miss Sandy Feet? I don't know who that is. That's just your character? Oh, at the beach. Yeah. Sandy Feet at the beach. Okay. Yeah. Anybody else got one? Bubbles. Bubbles. Yeah. Anybody else? One more. I'm going to stand here until we get one more. I'm going to play with you, whether you like it or not. Emanon, there you go. Oh, okay. So, let's see, what am I doing? This is character 3, right? Okay, I'm going to skip ahead there. All right, so let's go on to character number 4. Character 4 is the right brain thinking character. Character 4's motto might be, I am the enlightened one. Yeah? I am here to share my truth with you. Character 4 is connected to all that is. It's all-knowing. It's that access that we have to that all-knowing spiritual intention. Character 4 is what a lot of us in this room desire to be, desire to experience, is that spiritual presence, to be one with everything. Character 4 is that all-knowing presence that's everywhere present in the universe, that's tapped into that. So this character is interesting because in order for us to hear this character, the other ones have to be quiet. Right? And like, for example, one, which is obsessed with details and the external world, must settle down. And character 2 is volatile and reactionist and, emotional. And sometimes we have to calm those emotions down to be connected to character 4. Character 3 is that sometimes we have to tell character 3, just relax. It's not time to play right now. Let's take a breath and let all that playfulness go, and let's just be present right now. So Dr. Jill says, I think of the 4 different consciousnesses of our 4 characters as though they are different instruments playing in a string quartet. They're all a part of who we are, and they're all playing all the time. And we get to choose which one are we going to listen to, which one are we going to play with or work with or be connected to. So character 4 is connected to all that is, open to all possibilities, is accepting of all life, embraces change. It's authentic, it's generous, it's clear in its intention to love and to be loyal and to be vulnerable, to show who it is. It's the vulnerable part of us. So how does character 4 feel in your body? Can you get a sense of that? Calm, yeah. It's like when we're there, right? It's just totally being present in the moment. So do you let this character express itself? A little bit? A whole lot? Maybe sometimes too much. Ever find yourself being holier than now? Right? I knew what's right for you. No, I think it might be character 1. Don't call me on this stuff. You can tell me afterwards. I can channel anyone I want to. Oh my goodness. So some famous character 4s are Yoda from Star Wars, right? Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, Morpheus from The Matrix. We just watched that a couple weeks ago, and Dumbledore from Harry Potter. And kind of an owl that is sort of an animal that's sort of a stereotypical wise animal is the owl. You know, he's all Guinan. Yeah, yeah. Mr. Miyagi. Oh, great example. Yes. Merlin. Yeah, where were you guys all when I was writing this stuff? If we're all connected to the divine mind, for God's sakes. E.T. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, now you're playing the game. All right? So anybody got an idea for themselves? What is yours? What's yours called? Rumi. Beautiful. I can't give you a long story because we're live. So.
There was a cartoon character really popular about 60 years ago. I think it ended, but I grew up with Mrs. Worth. She was the grandmother who always had it right after.
Oh, perfect. Mrs. Worth. Yeah, thank you. Mine is Hafiz, because I love Hafiz's teachings. I love his kind of earthiness, you know, and as well as his poetry being very beautiful. And reminded me of this quote. Hafiz wrote, "I am a hole in the flute that the Christ breath moves through. Listen to the music." Wow. Ram Dass. Love and awareness, yeah, beautiful. Yeah. So, what do we do with all these characters? Now that we've identified these characters, what good does it do? Well, Dr. Taylor suggests that we have a brain huddle with these characters. That we, if we're having difficulty making a decision, or it's a difficult time, or we're in a challenging place, that we can call on these characters and say, how can you help me, or please help me in this situation? And call on these different hemispheres within ourselves. You know, for example, if we had a conflict between our right and left brain characters, and one of them says, do I take that job in a new city that pays more, and it's an obvious promotion, or do I keep my current job so my children can stay home here and go to the school that they're familiar with and stay connected to their friends? You can see how these are drawing on two hemispheres, and if we engage our hemispheres, and of course the hemispheres of a lot of other people as well, we can make a more sound and beneficial decision for everybody. So as we become more proficient in identifying our four characters and learn to appreciate and value the skill that each one brings to our life, we can be able to make decisions consciously and deliberately. So how do we create a huddle? So Dr. Taylor suggests focusing on the breath, finding a place where you can just be in the moment and call upon your breath and just breathe in and let yourself be present in the moment. And be right here, right now. And I'll explain the parts to you, and then we'll experience it. And then to recognize the challenge. So what is the challenge? Maybe for the example I gave, it's, do we move to a big city, or do we stay here? Do I take the promotion, or do we stay here? And perhaps you've got a situation in your own life that you might consider. So you breathe, you recognize the challenge, and then you identify the challenging character that might be dominant over this situation. Right? Is it the left brain character that's saying, is it overthinking it? Is it judging good or bad? Is the fact that we have to do things in a certain way? What is the character that's making this challenging? Or is it angry? Or is the situation making you angry? So your anger is up, and so you can't make a decision because you're angry or stressful or anxious. There's something that's in the way from keeping us from making that decision. And the third thing is, you just want to play. I don't want to deal with this right now. I just as soon go to the beach and get in the water. I just soon do some yoga. I just soon do something else to distract myself from the issue that I get to deal with. Or is it not connected to reality? It's something's like upside down, maybe? Or, all I want to do is read spiritual books. Or is it, I want to just coach other people? I don't care about what's happening to me. I just want to coach everybody else and tell everybody else how they should live their lives. Ever been there? Or just wants to, I just want to medicate. So, the 4 aspects of our brain to the rescue. I hope that you experience something different. Maybe you learned something about yourself today. And that you will practice getting to know these characters inside yourself so that you can make good decisions, be present, and express the truth of who you are in everything that you do. And let's say our affirmation one more time together today. Together, I use my inherent faculty of good judgment to make the right choices. Thank you. All right, so I invite you at this time to prepare your love offerings. And I invite you to give from the wholeness of who you are, from your whole brain, from your whole beingness, from your connectedness to the truth of who you are. Perhaps you can think of the gift that you give to us today as a gift that you're giving to yourself, because your gifts do indeed help us to continue this beautiful work that we get to do and to create this amazing community together. And all of us are so incremental to this ministry. And I know that as you give, you participate with us in this message that we send out to the world. And I know that people are transformed because of the consciousness of all of you. So as we hold our gifts, let's pray and affirm together our prayer for prosperity, our affirmation for prosperity, which begins, through a grateful, giving heart, my mind and life overflow with the abundance of God's all-providing, infinite supply. And so it is. Namaste. And as we give these gifts in love, we know that they move through this ministry out into the world. And let's behold a world filled with light, with love, and with peace. And so it is. Thank you. So, today's flowers were brought by Gary Landis right at the last moment today. He was just bringing them out of his love for unity. And Emily arranged them, and they're right here behind me. And Gary asked that we hold the thought of compassion for Ukraine this morning through his gift of flowers. And let's just take a moment. To behold this country filled with light and love and peace. To see this peace moving in and through every being. Love, light, truth, wisdom. We see that happening right now. And so it is. Amen. And if you'd like to bring flowers some Sunday morning, there's a sign-up sheet on the back table where you can tell us, sign up for a date and tell us who or how you'd like your flowers to be mentioned on Sunday morning. Speaking of Sunday morning, and speaking of the fact that no deed lacks a reward, that's my talk title for next week. And we're going to look at the Hawaiian culture and what this phrase means for them. And we'll even learn a Hawaiian phrase and look at the value of knowing that everything we think, say, and do reaps its own reward, both in our consciousness, in our experience, and in the world. So join us next week for that. And I've got an even bigger surprise. Next week, our guest musician is Robin Fisher. She'll be our guest musician. Does anybody know who she is? Everybody ever seen her before? Here she is. So this will be quite fun. Robin is a writer, a teacher, a musician, and a pilgrim. She plays piano, guitar, and ukulele. And she's got a beautiful voice. And she likes to sing upbeat, folksy songs as she describes them. Which means that all folksy will enjoy them, right? She was the music director at Unity of Olympia in Washington, and she'll be our guest musician next week. So we welcome you, Robin. Let's give Robin a big hand. All right, and if you were here today, you are here today, you might want to take this message home with you for the left brain people who like something written and described. There's a walkie-talkie on the back table that identifies everything that I talked about today in the 4 characters and the huddle process. And I hope that you'll take it and practice this good stuff. All right, so why don't we stand, take a deep breath, and let's know and pray and affirm for ourselves and for the world the prayer for protection, which begins, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. God bless you, friends. Thank you for being here today. I love you. See you next time. Aloha.
Where I live, there are rays